So, hello everyone. I welcome you all again to this subject session number 4 of entrepreneurship development. Today we're going to have very interesting and the topic that interests you the most, that there are certain myths of becoming an entrepreneur, and what are those common myths that people hold and how to overcome them. So, as you know that, do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? You might have certain misconceptions, some thoughts, some ideas. There are definitely certain notions about being an entrepreneur that may discourage one, to start your own business. Right? People might be holding some thoughts, and this myths are not necessarily all true. Furthermore, there are some theories about business owners that might encourage you to create a startup company as well. So we'll be discussing few of these myths. There are so many. So let me take you through these myths. What are those? So here are few of them. Like, entrepreneurs are born and not made. It means the statement is saying that entrepreneurs are genetic. So we'll be talking about what it makes to be an entrepreneur. Then it's written that entrepreneurs are gamblers. They are risk takers. Right. Entrepreneurs are primarily motivated by money. They having the primary goal of making profits. Another myth holds like entrepreneurs should be young and energetic. Entrepreneurs are undisciplined or love the spotlight. The myth saying that entrepreneurs are exceptional ones. Entrepreneurs have formal training and education. Entrepreneurs are those who have charismatic personalities, and entrepreneurs don't quit until they succeed. So we'll be going through each one of these myths and how you just try to understand, and this is just to encourage and to come out after this misconception. So we'll go through the few common myths about entrepreneurs, and the information will be talking about we have with our own life experiences, and by knowing through the life journeys of these successful entrepreneurs. So I must say that there is nothing wrong with being an employee, but personally I find entrepreneurship more rewarding, but it's not for everyone. Being an entrepreneur takes commitment. When you start your business, it takes just as much effort to keep up and running. So all you need to understand why an entrepreneur is an important, it's like in lifeblood for an economic growth. If you are on the fence about building a startup company, or you are just at the age of this journey, you need to understand that what are those myths and misconceptions about entrepreneurs. So you're able to make more informed decision about your future. So let me take you to the first myth that people hold, that entrepreneurship is genetic. People might have this misconception, this myth that the entrepreneurs are born, they can't be made. Right? You're not born an entrepreneur. Here's breakdown of family-owned business by a generation. Here's some statistical data I would like to put here on. Like 30% survive to the second generation, 12% survive to the third generation, and 3% only survive to the fourth generation. So it is not always true for the family business, right, that entrepreneurs are always born. Entrepreneurs can be made. It entirely depends upon like how you are taking this profession, or this elite class as. The founder of Nike, Phil Knight, he did not realize that he wanted to be an entrepreneur, and there are many other examples, until he got into the business school of his masters. And it was during a class when a lecturer asked student to invent a new business that Phil realized it's that exactly what he wanted to do as a profession. Right? So this is how at some point people may realize. So this is just one example among many successful entrepreneurs, among many successful stories, but it was not always something they had a natural inclination towards. Right? And yet the myth that entrepreneurs are born lives on. The truth is, there is no evidence that some people are natural born entrepreneurs, though many researchers are going on, and while others are not. So research indicates that entrepreneurs come from both entrepreneurial as well as non-entrepreneurial backgrounds too. There was one survey which involved more than 500 company founders, and more than half of the people surveyed, 52%, were the first in their family to launch a business. So if entrepreneurship is genetic, you would not expect this percentage to be so high. And so the conclusion is very clear that they are not born. Entrepreneur can be the situational ones, right? So you can see here the second myth: entrepreneurs take lots of risk. Like entrepreneurs are gamblers. So saying this they are gamblers is not the right way to explain, because though they love risk, right? This is another misconception, that entrepreneurs love risk. They love taking risk. That you have to be a big. This is true that you have to be a big risk taker to become an entrepreneur. But when it comes to risk preferences, business owners are not that much different from general public. Like if you ask an entrepreneur to leave their car unlocked while shopping, they would view the risk to theft to be just as high as anyone else's assessment. But here there is a possible key differences. Entrepreneurs are generally more confident and they are more optimistic when reviewing a business risk or a business opportunity, I must say. They have a strong belief in their ability to provide, right, to get a profit from a venture. And in contrast to other people, they are likely to see threats, right? Where entrepreneurs see opportunities in every situation. I'm talking about here the business opportunities. And on that account, entrepreneurs are not risk taking, they are not gamblers. They do take risks, but they do believe in taking calculative risks, and they can turn these risks into rewards, right? So always there is a relationship between a return and a risk. High the risk, high the profit. Low risk potential, low return is expected. Then coming to the third myth, that entrepreneurs are only motivated by money. It again is a myth. There is a misconception that not always money that inspire, that motivate an entrepreneur. Money does not make the world go around. What motivates small owners? This is what the researchers are showing. I put it here. The research data that shows that 37% personal achievement and lifelong dream is the reason behind entrepreneurial motivation. Then 28% could be the financial stability. 12% could be the giving back to community, and great customer might be the 10%. This is what the results are saying. So it's not always like entrepreneur is motivated by just by the gains he is expecting, because entrepreneurs initially had to make so many sacrifices. And there are people, there is a term we will be discussing in the units to come about a social entrepreneurship. They are people, they are a business inclination towards betterment of a society. This is what always. And it's one myth again is related to this very point, that you need lots of money as well. You don't always need a lot of money to start a business. The amount of cash you will need depends on the type of business you hope to start. So this is again one myth related to this, the very point it is written, that they only motivated money, or always a venture need a lots of money, right? This is what a general pattern. The general pattern is that service companies have lower cost, while product based businesses like restaurant manufacturers tend to have a higher cost, right? Then another myth that is entrepreneurs are young and they need to be young and they are energetic. It's not always true. I'll show you a data that says that 65 the people belong to age group of 65, 55, 52, more than 45 years of age. They comes out to take this very profession. There is an example of KFC. Harlan Sanders started KFC and at the age of 65 years, right? Then McDonald, Ray Kroc started McDonald at the age of 52. John Pemberton invented Coca-Cola at the age of 55. Though there are many examples, there are many successful entrepreneurs, those who belong to the age group of 35 to 40 years of age. Jimmy Wales founded Wikipedia at the age of 35. It's not always. There are people who spend their entire life in serving for somebody else, and at the very the late stages of life they realize to become an entrepreneur, to start their own ventures. So there are many theories, there are many thoughts related with this. Even the web entrepreneurs and the YouTube personality, if you heard the name Zoella Sak, he was in her early 20s when he started to earn a reported, $20 a month from her social media venture. It's not always that people start at the very, or a related misconception that, a person who is experienced, he can, have a life experience or a job experience can start a venture. Even the people with a very early stage can start a venture. So there is no shortage of media coverage of young entrepreneurs always, as well, but they're always, at the age group of 35 to 40-year-old to start a business are many such examples which can be very relevant here, right? Then entrepreneurs are undisciplined or love the spotlight. It's not always, because entrepreneur need to work. It's not a easy way out, because there are many businesses, there are many ventures. They need to put a lot much hard work at the very initial stage. So not only you are gaining, you have to sacrifice a lot at the very early stage. So this is what it is related to an entrepreneurship. One has to be very disciplined. One has to start their work. They have established routine, right? They are doing the hardest things the first, right? They do plan their entire day, their work. They start with the small things, right? And a lot many sacrifices, a lot many hard work need to put into becoming an entrepreneur. People are sacrificing their personal life as well. Then another misconception that anyone can be an entrepreneur. अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो business start कर लेंगे. Again, is a false, I must say, a myth or a misconception. It's not an easy way to get rich. This is not the easy way. One need to put a lot much hard work into this. Entrepreneurship is a path to a wealth building with a strong potential, right? And with the right variables as well that need to be lined up. There is no upper limit on how much one can earn, but yes, anyone can be an entrepreneur. You can't think of entrepreneurship as get rich. There is no shortcut. There is no quick scheme, quick scheme. You need to invest significant resources into your businesses, include both your time and money. Even with all the right things in place, you will have no guarantee that you'll have timing or the pacing right. But when you are serving for someone, there may be, you may lose a job, but there is always, a hope that you will get another job. But if once you will fail in your business, your idea, you have to start up it again. So 25% of US entrepreneurs are immigrants. 50% of US startups valued at $1 billion or more have been founded by immigrants. Right, 31% of all venture-backed founders are immigrant entrepreneurs. There always, some risk associated with being this. Then entrepreneurs have formal training and education. I'll show you a business survey, small business survey, Service Monkey Small Business Survey 2017. And the research, the result shows that 5% of the people, they did not complete high school, they become an entrepreneur. 20% high school or undergraduates, or 40% of them, they have associate degree. 17% some just reaches to college. 26% of them just college graduates, and only 18% of them they are postgraduate. So there is high variability among the people who become an entrepreneur. So if I say there is a formal training or education required, it's always not in the way, because there are many examples, there are many successful business people, many entrepreneurs who actually have not taken any degree, have not studied, have not gone for a college as well, but they become an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship actually is a spirit. It's a mindset. We're going to talk in the further slides that entrepreneurship mindset is something that is required. So I can say that entrepreneurship can be taught. It should be taught, and it is being taught. After 50 years of flawed model focused on churning out executives of large corporations, colleges and universities have turned their attention to promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship. And the schools are focusing on teaching the entrepreneurial lifestyle and developing the entrepreneurial mindset among people. One focused on both the mindset and the skill set required to become an entrepreneur. And everything from university incubators to mentor programs and pitch sessions are being offered. And many universities, many institutes, we also are putting our efforts to, making out people as an entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs don't quit until they succeed. They are failure rates of startups. I'll show you the data. These are the research data. 95% fall short of meeting projections at the very initial stage. They out of the this journey. 80% fail to see projected returns on investment. 40% liquidate and lose most of all the investment, and 99% of reason for failure is lack of planning and experience. So there are many reasons, and there are many people quit at the very different stages, right? So this is how people are quitting. It's not always that people do not quit until they succeed. There are many life stages, phases where entrepreneurs backed, quit from this very mindset. And there are many other myths. I'll let you know that you need a great idea is another myth. Everyone has a business idea in them, but they never think it's good enough. And this is because people often judge early ideas against already established businesses. So no venture ever starts fully formed. Every successful idea starts with a small and over time can mature into the greatness. So the reality of entrepreneurship is that an idea does not have to be perfect from the get go, nor does it have to be extraordinary. People need to start, and a person need to start with a very small, maybe the weird idea. And there are many weird examples, idea which were weird at the initial stage, and they come out to be very, very successful and very promising ideas, right? And sure that 9 out of 10 businesses fails. This is again one of the most common myth as well, that entrepreneurship is that 9 out of 10 business fails. Fortunately, the statistic is can be exaggeration. It's too simplistic, and I must say this ignores the component that if removed lead us to forget, or even it's more bizarre reality. It's not always. So this is all about, there are some myths which are associated, and in the next session we'll be talking about the entrepreneurial mindset. So there are two mindset we'll be talking about. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.